Thank you, Mr Speaker. Snolig Creole was blian of our ahula dunya. Last week, the leader was unwilling or unable to answer my question about her government's latest immigration mess. Instead, she gave Scots another lecture from Westminster, this time about morality and her own global leadership. A lecture on morality from this Tory government. Pantomime season is truly upon us. Was she talking about the morality of her pile the bodies high government? Or maybe she was recalling the time her government said, we are breaking the law, but only in a limited way. Or is it the morality that allows water companies to make a fortune in profits as children get sick swimming in raw sewage off the coast of England? Or is it about the families of service personnel forced to live in quarters so riddled with damp and mould they're judged too poor for human habitation? Maybe that's the morality she had in mind. Could it be the morality of the return of near Victorian levels of destitution across the UK? Maybe she was thinking of the waspy women, deprived of their rightful pensions. Perhaps she could lecture them about morality and see what they have to say to her. But before she launches into mercifully her last video nasty of the year, I hope she can answer my question today. It is the same question I asked last week, which remains unanswered and mired in confusion thanks to her Prime Minister. Now, it may be this morning's statement entitled Citizens' Rights will address this, but we should have debated these drastic changes before now in this place anyway. It's supposed to be the season of goodwill, but so many of our constituents are now deeply concerned and frightened by this announcement. So I'll ask again on their behalf. If the spouse or partner of a British citizen is currently living in the UK on a leave-to-remain visa, could they be deported if their salaries are less than £38,700? Yes or no?
Yeah. Leader.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Well, can I start by wishing the Honourable Lady and her SNP colleagues a very happy Christmas. I would point her to what the Prime Minister said yesterday in Prime Minister's questions with regard to further information coming forward in the new year. And I said last week that I fully understand people in particular professions, including the armed forces, will want to have answers to this, and my office stands ready to facilitate any particular cases or requests that people have in the meantime. But transition arrangements will be announced shortly, and the Prime Minister got that on record loud and clear yesterday. The Honourable Lady, I don't know really where to start with her lecture on morality. Whether she mentions vulnerable people, and yet I think this very week Scotland's as the SNP have announced that Scotland's National Care Service is going to be pushed back by 3 years. She mentions the armed forces. It's her government that are insisting on them paying higher tax, this government that is compensating them for that. And if she wants to go and find Victorian levels of rats and rickets, she should go to SNP-run local authorities. But I think we should have a festive roundup, Mr Speaker, on SNP morality. 12 hours of police questioning, 11 grand roaming charges, 10 years without school inspections, 9 sham embassies, 8 years of poor child mental health, 7 years without ferries, 6 years shirking welfare powers, 500 million overspent on Edinburgh's tram, 4 million to install a heat pump, 3 high-profile arrests, 2 overseas jollies, and a dodgy Jaguar EV. I thank the Honourable Lady. I have succeeded in bringing a smile to her face, and I must thank her for being the gift that keeps on giving at business questions. I hope that in 2024, better things are destined for the Scottish people. Better education, better health, better transport and opportunity, and better values for the taxes they pay, and that all their MPs will come here and represent their interests and take responsibility for the authority that they are given. That is my Christmas wish, Mr Speaker.
Jason McCall.